So I hope everyone had a good evening yesterday. I know yesterday was a great day for the symposium, not such a great day for being outside, but it was a great day to be in here and enjoying the symposium. There were some fabulous talks, and inside down the basement there was even better talks. But you know, I have to share with everybody that last night I just had the strangest dream, and the amazing thing is, you all were in it, and in that dream, there was a bus that broke down and people were stranded and walking around campus. And then in that dream, I found myself down in the basement with all you people in the catacombs of the Union. And it's like, how does this happen? Does it get any worse? And in that dream, I checked my email. And this morning, we found out that our plague of locusts was laid over in Kansas City, and they're not going to make it here today. And neither is pestilence. I never confirmed. So those things we just couldn't arrange for you today, but hopefully we'll have a very, very good day and move right along. So I want to spend a couple minutes this morning to expand on a topic that I started on last night at the session, and that is the Purdue Day of Giving. This is my NPR moment. So it's days like this that Purdue has started that really help us in CERIAS. I just wanted to share with you how that works. The Purdue Day of Giving has been going on for just a few years. It's a relatively new phenomenon. It's a one-day event, and like a lot of other things that Purdue does, when they decide to do something, they do it very, very well. CERIAS is an example. When they decided, as Spaff said last night, to do a research center on cybersecurity, they did it very, very well. So how'd we do on the Purdue Day of Giving? Last year, the Purdue community came together in a single day and donated over $28 million to the university, and which was an amazing thing. This is the highest number given to any university in a single day. And this is the second year that we've held that record. So this being the 2018 version, let me expand on it just a little bit more to make some more impact with that. I'm sorry. So in 24 hours, over $28 million, over 15,000 individual gifts, over 2,000 first-time donors from 56 countries in all 50 states. So that's the reach. And for those of us on the inside, the Day of Giving is a lot of work, but it's really a lot of fun too, because there's different contests, that they do every hour to promote things and to make things happen. So we look at ourselves in CERIAS and we say, well, what does that mean to us? I mean, it's a great thing for the university, but this is the one time that if someone donates to CERIAS, the university matches us a little bit. It's not huge, but as we're a self-funded entity, we rely on our fabulous partners to be able to put on programs such as this and our other adventures we do to help us fund some seed research and things like that. So every dollar really does count. So we appreciate all that work that people do to help us along. So it's like I said, there's lots of reasons for doing it. Shows your Purdue pride. It helps support our programs. If it applies, it's tax deductible, and the university match. So that's sort of the summary there. So I previewed this last night, but there's our guy. You heard him talk about the history of CERIAS, for the past 20 years on that. And like I said last night, we went behind his back and we created something for Dr. Spafford, and we gave it to him last night, and I'm still here, so I still have my job. Thank you very much. And what we're going to do is we're going to share that with you again this morning, tell you a little bit about it, and tell you how this will work for you. So if you recall last night, this is what we did to Professor Spafford. We turned him into a bobblehead. So this is maybe serial number 2 of the series that we have, if they were truly serial numbered. But what we've decided to do is make those available to individuals as a premium for helping us out. But so just so you know, there's not just one. There's a lot of these out there. So we'll be able to we'll be able to we want to distribute Spaff as far and wide, and in doing so, we want to distribute the reputation of CERIAS and help advance our cause here in the Institute. So whether you call it a Spaffy like I did last night, or you're taking after Little Sweet on the Dr. Pepper commercial and it's Little Spaff or Spaff Jr., whatever you want to call these things, this is what we're offering to our public if they would be interested. If someone donates $100 to CERIAS, and we will send you one of these Spaff bobbleheads. So out in the area, in the registration area, there are these Day of Giving pledge forms. So it has our account on it, for CERIAS. So this will come to us, and we'll know that that's happening. On one side is something, if you choose to use credit card information, you can. The other is just a pledge that you give to us, and we'll contact you later about collecting in on this. So use whichever side you're most comfortable with. But there are forms out in the lobby, or contact one of us, and we would be more than happy to send a little spaff to your organization. But it's I apologize for making fun of the good professor a little bit, but I think it's a great thing to do on the 20th anniversary of CERIAS, and a lot of people know him, and they may end up on the dashboard of your car. I'm not sure where it might end up, but they're I think a good memento and a good memory of what's going on here with CERIAS. And so I just want to say, from all of us at CERIAS, we really do thank you for your help. But this just shows that there's a couple of those to go around. Okay, at this point, I'm going to switch it over, and I'm going to call our executive staff to give out some CERIAS awards. You've heard from Professor Spafford, you've heard from Joel, and I wanted to introduce Professor Dongyoung Zhu, who's our interim executive director, just to make sure everyone knows who he is. And I'll turn the speaking parts over to Joel and Dr. Zhu, and we'll start with our awards. Pillars first. Does that work? Perfect. Okay.
Thank you, Jerry. One, we're lucky to have Dongyoung as our interim director for the last 2 years. He's just does a great job. He's also mic shy, so he forces us up in front of the room.
Try to minimize the.
So, as most of you know from previous symposium, we have 3 awards that we give out. And the first one is that we're going to give out today is the Pillar Award. So the Pillar Award is somebody who's gone above and beyond to help prop up CERIAS, that takes us from where we are and helps us move us just one step further up the ladder where we want to be. So in the past, it has been some of our faculty, staff have received this at point. Sometimes it's somebody from industry who has done something that again helps us get just a little bit better. So, and it's been a rarity that we have 2 people win, but this year we're going to be recognizing 2 people, but they're from the same organization because they've been attached at the hip and have done unbelievable things over the last year plus to really help us up. So one of them is here, one of them unfortunately is not, but we'll allow him to take the award back to her as well. So can I have David Bills from Intel please come forward? So David and Abhilasha Bhargava-Spanzel, and Abhilasha, who many of us who are longtime CERIAS people know as Abby, when she actually started as an undergraduate here, then went all the way through to her PhD here, was hired by Intel, and then worked very diligently to have her senior leadership recognize that as she was climbing the corporate ladder and they were saying, we need more people like you, she kept saying, then you need a relationship with CERIAS. So David is not a hardcore security guy. He is an administrator in here, but he said, okay, I'm buying what you're selling, Abby. And although she's now professional, so she's Abhilasha. So Abhilasha has convinced David that this was a good thing. And so in tandem, they worked very hard to join CERIAS and immediately said, if we're going to do this, let's do it big. So over the last year plus, they hosted first a hands-on cyber defense workshop that they held here on campus. They flew in, they set up, we had workstations, and they did a full workshop with 30 of our students. It was so successful, and so many of those students said, wow, this is really cool. Can we do more things? What else are you going to do? That Dave came up with the idea that, well, why don't we just actually get involved in the research and maybe develop this as a pipeline? So they offered 10 research assistantships to CERIAS students last year, funded. Each of the students had to write a very short abstract. If I were funded, this is what I would want to do with that money that paid for my entire semester. They didn't have to pay anything. They even drew a stipend on it. So all they had to do was do the research that they wanted to do. This was not Intel directed research. Now they picked which projects to fund, but the student was free to do what they wanted to do, what research, and supervised by their faculty. Of course, Intel was smart and said, we're going to assign a mentor so that we can help guide. If they've got questions, we can provide industry's view on their research. Well, no surprise, of those 10 students, 9 of them offered them internships, 8 of them accepted internships and went and worked for Dave and Abby out in Portland. Since then, a couple have graduated, have already accepted offers, have started working for Intel. A few who were not funded, but because of their involvement on campus, they hired one of our most recent PhD candidates that have also joined. This academic year, they recently, I mentioned this yesterday, they hosted the International Women's Day Cybersecurity Forum, co-hosted with CERIAS, Intel, and invited Google. And so all three had this video forum, and it was an unbelievably great day for our female students that were involved. And that was an idea that we didn't have. That was an idea that Dave and Abby had said, what if we did this? We're going to do something internally, but can we get your students involved? So at their board meeting this last fall, which was hosted by Intel in Portland, they said, well, why don't, this internship, this research assistantship thing that we did last year was so beneficial. Why don't we do more of this? Why don't we have more of our partners do it? It's been great for us. So to solidify it, they changed their funding model and immediately built into their annual membership to CERIAS a fellowship. So this year, we'll be offering for the start in the fall, the Intel Security CERIAS Fellowship for a student, which will fund a student for an entire year, basically into the same model. CERIAS is going to help us Intel is going to help us pick the student that receives the funding, but the student will be free to do the research that they want to do. Hopefully, Intel will provide a mentor who will also be able to help provide industry's experience, industry's hopes for maybe the project, but the student will be free to do the research that they want to do. In addition, this is the first announcement, it'll be formally announced at the RSA conference in California in a couple of weeks, but Intel is funding the CERIAS Secure Development Badge and Certificate Program. And I said, oh, this is great, we'll work with you. And Intel said, no, CERIAS has the reputation in security. Intel is a great company. We don't want this to be viewed as an industry thing that, oh, hey, buy an Intel product. We believe that the entire industry needs better engineers developing products. So they're underwriting the development of a program that CERIAS, in cooperation with industrial engineering here at Purdue. SPAF has drawn up the lesson plans for the 4 classes, 10 lessons in each class, that will be drawing faculty expertise from across campus. At current count, we have 7 different academic departments who will be offering courses, will be doing lesson plans in this. The ideal goal is that the students will be offered it here on campus, and that doesn't have to necessarily be security students. Dr. Shi, the head of Astro Aero, is excited that Astro Aero students will be able to start taking place in this. Double E, who isn't typically necessarily always looking at security, will be able to have their students walk through this badge program so that if they go into some typical double E type things, they have a grounded understanding of what security should be. And maybe we stop dealing with so many problems of let's develop a program, let's develop a product. Oh, now let's add a security layer. They're trying to get us, they're pushing from industry, has embraced this idea that we need to start putting security in at the ground floor, bake it into the DNA of what we're developing. So I actually probably could go on quite a bit more, but this is all done in the last 13, 14 months, and it's all been driven by David Bills. So please join me in recognizing our 2018 pillar of CERIAS, David Bills and Abhilasha Bhargava-Spansel. So if we can get our photographer up here.
Congratulations. Thank you very much for your support.
With it. And we have Abby's as well. I'll help lay your luggage down, all right?
I'll replace this with a light.
So I wish I were as eloquent as Joel. So I will have to read part of the nomination text for the next award. So it's my great pleasure to announce the Diamond Award for 2018. So every year we solicit nominations from our faculty members, CERIAS affiliated faculty members for students to receive the Diamond Award. So a typical candidate for this award is a student who came into our program or who started graduate school, without too much of a research experience and an achievement, and through the years, with the help of our faculty, industry partners, and other members of our community, grown to become a mature and highly productive researcher. So this is the kind of the quote-unquote signature for an ideal candidate for this award. So every year we receive multiple nominations for this award. This year is no exception. So I'm very happy and actually very impressed by the nominations and the CVs that were submitted in the past month. So that actually create a kind of a daunting task for me because we only give out usually one award. I believe this year we do the same. So that decision was not easy, trust me. So it's kind of a lot of consideration, kind of comparison, and doing all that kind of effort. So at the end, we did identify a winner, very, very deserving winner. And I believe it's time to make that announcement, to announce the winner of the 2018 Diamond Award. And the award goes to, shall I just press the blank? I'm not used to Mac. The Diamond Award goes to Samuel Gerald, who recently defended his PhD dissertation. Samuel is a PhD student in the computer science department, and his advisor is Professor Christina Nita-Rotaro, a former member of our family who is currently a professor and associate dean for faculty at Northeastern University in Boston. And Samuel is co-advised by my friend and colleague, Professor Sonia Fahmy here at Purdue. So they work very hard, as you can imagine, the challenge of having the advisor not here at Purdue, and also having to travel back and forth between Boston and West Lafayette. So let me quickly, so this is the part that I will have to read. So I would like to actually highlight Samuel's achievement. So Samuel was nominated for the award for his work in finding attacks in TCP, QUIC, and SDN. So he came to Purdue 5 years ago with very little research experience, but with a lot of passion for network protocols and with outstanding work ethics. So that's important. So the first paper he ever submitted, surprisingly or not surprisingly, won the Best Paper Award. And at that time, he was just getting started. And the quality of his research has been remarkable, increasingly so, I would say, for his work that he has won 4 awards, 3 as the first author and 1 as a co-author. So these awards include the Best Paper Award in DSN, the International Conference on Dependable Systems and Networks, 2015, for his work on attacks against the handshake protocol of TCP. The second award is the IETC IRTF Applied Networking Research Prize in 2016 for his award on security of QUIC, QUIC. And then the third one is the IETF IRTF Applied Networking Research Prize in 2018. This is brand new, for his work on QUIC performance. This one is as a co-author. And more recently, this one I actually personally witnessed. He won the Best Paper Award at NDSS, which is one of the top 4 cybersecurity conferences in the academic community, 2018, for his paper on attacks against congestion control in TCP. So that is a very impressive list of achievements. So I'm very proud of him, and I would also like to congratulate Sam as well as his advisors. So at this time, I know that Samuel is not here in West Lafayette, but I would like to invite his co-advisors, Christina and Sonia, up to the podium to receive the prize, the award on his behalf. So please join me in
Great, thank you very much. Congrats again.
All right, so let's move on. Joe, you want to continue? One more, two more.
Okay, yeah, just, do you have the list of them?
Yes, I do.
Right here.
Right there.
So I believe most of the people in the room last night were at our tornado drill, poster session. And so we asked our partners and some of the other industry people within the audience to have a ballot, roam around, meet some of the students, hear about the research, take a look at the posters, and then evaluate on their own set of criteria and what they thought were some of the best research and some of the best presenting students in the room. And so from that, poor Jerry had to go home last night and tally up all of these votes and pick and identify that were the three most highly rated poster projects that were represented last night. So each year we then represent them, recognize their work. They also get a small cash award, probably enough that they can go to Harry's tonight, not much more than that. But it gives them a nice line on their CV that they won a Best Poster Award at the CERIAS Annual Symposium. So I'm not sure if any of these recipients, because as you remember yesterday morning, I asked two students in the room and nobody was here at 9 a.m. So, but I do want to recognize them. So if you are here, please come forward. So our first, let me start backwards. Okay, there you go. I'll push the button. So our third place rank is CAMS 2 analysis of visual data from worldwide network cameras. Andrew Ulmer, working under Professor Young-Soo Liu. Is Andrew here? Okay, congratulations, Andrew. Our second place winner is mitigating counterfeiting in supply chain using blockchain technology. Yesterday, when this was presented in the poster preview, I gave a shout out to CERIAS that this is a project that received internal funding. It had a project that in its early stages did not garner any interest from the funding agencies. Let me repeat that. The early submission of this as a research idea was not funded by the funding agencies. But our board took a look at it and said, this has possibility. We internally funded this. A year and a half later, now it is recognized as the second strongest project at our event. So that should tell you that there's some great ideas that Washington is overlooking right now. Okay, so the student who presented yesterday was Iswar Manapudi, but it is also has several other students involved. Yes. Okay, so Mahima Kalkar, Pedro Moreno Sanchez, and Kutarth Rao. I did see Pedro here earlier, didn't I? Okay, and they are doing research under Professor Aniket Kate in computer science. By the way, first one was in electrical and computer engineering department. And our first place award goes to FirmFuzz, Automated IoT Firmware Introspection and Analysis. It was presented yesterday by Prashat Shrivastava, but also has Hui Peng, Ryan Berg, Nathan Burrow, Howard Schroeb, Hamad Oravi, and is being supervised by Professor Matthias Payers. If any of those students are here, please come forward as well. Awesome. This is a short presentation. So they do have their certificates that I promise you will get to them. And I suspect on social media, they'll be posting what an awesome student they are. So congratulations to all of those students who worked on these three recognized projects. But by show of hands in the audience, did anybody see any research that was just horrible there last night? Okay. Fantastic. That's good to hear. So students, if your work was still not recognized, please just now recognize that the audience right here said all the research there was very, very good. We appreciate all the students who did participate. So last night I did have my last comment here. Somebody come up and said, wow, this is 40 great projects. I wish you had just a little bit more in my area. And we chatted about that particular focus area. He said, oh, no, we have a lot in there. So tomorrow at our board meeting, the members of our strategic partnership program will get our biannual research report. And there's, I think the count is 147 current information assurance, security, privacy, resiliency, and cybercrime projects. 147. There were 44 posters last night. So just a small percentage of our work was highlighted last night. There's an awful lot in there. So if you did not see something that tickled your fancy, let me know, and we can certainly get you pointers to some of the projects. In a few months, after our board members have had the opportunity to review the project, then we're happy to share that report with the worldwide. So we're happy to share our research with you. So congratulations and thank you to all of the students who participated in the poster session last night. Jerry, what's next on the agenda?
We're going to switch to our keynote, so just stretch.
Awesome. Spaff, will you be able to do the introduction, sir? Great, thank you.